I've always enjoyed training on my own, and one of the things I spend a lot of time doing is kick drills. Now, it can be quite difficult as a beginner trying to find things to do that are effective, that build your training outside of the gym, especially when you're training without a partner. So, one of the things I'm going to try and do is put together a few solo drill structures that you can do to improve your martial arts training when you're training on your own. Furious 5 is an ascending pyramid drill, which starts off with 2 power kicks, one left side, one right side, with an ascending number of kicks from 2 up to 5 to finish off the round. Each set, you're going to do 2, 3, 4, or 5 kicks each side, intersected with those same 2 left and right power kicks. And those power kicks need maximum velocity, maximum force each time. You want to make it interesting. These rounds can be mixed up with different combinations, different kicks, as long as you're able to scale that up from that 2 to 5 to make it a Furious 5. Attribute building drills focus on athletic qualities. So for endurance rounds, we're trying to focus on our capacity and work rate and how we're able to sustain that throughout a round. We're looking for short rest periods, a consistent or increasing pace, and a high number of rounds. This will help us improve our aerobic capacity as well as our sport-specific muscular endurance. In our power rounds, we're focusing on our high velocity and our motor skill. So how well we're able to perform a movement at a fast pace. Allow yourself to reset. We don't want technical breakdown here. We want to make sure every single shot we fire is as perfect as possible, as fast as possible, and applying as much force as possible. Furious 5 combines both of these adaptations and is a really great way to get yourself amped up, warm, and ready if you get to train in 15 minutes before the class starts. And here are a few more styles of kick drills that you can use that are attribute quality based and can help you improve your power, your endurance, and your speed outside of the gym and outside of coach training sessions. It's all about intent. If we want to improve speed, we have to go as fast as possible. If we want to move in power, we have to go as hard as possible. And we want to go in endurance, we have to go as long as possible. So keep that in mind for whenever you're programming these drills into your training. So what about when we're aiming to improve technique? Here are a few technique-focused drills that I like to use that when I'm focusing on new skills, new techniques, or rebuilding old skills and old techniques. Creative constraints relies on me setting a limit and a focus on each round. So if I want to use specifically lead roundhouse kicks or kicks off the lead leg, that's all that round is going to consist of. If I want to build setups for those kicks, that's all that round is going to consist of. If I want to develop actually getting myself to be able to produce the kick, that's going to be the main focus of what that round is going to consist of. Continuous flow rounds are some of my favorite technique development rounds because they focus on positioning yourself in unnatural positions and firing with something spontaneously that feels truly natural to where the body has ended up. You go with a chain link fence approach, so there's little breaks between each shot as possible, and try and find the best movement that your body's capable of doing while opening your mind up to techniques that you may not be usually used to using in sparring, in pad work, or in your normal drills. Now, technique stage isolation is my own little creation that I like to use when I'm teaching, when I'm developing a technique, and when I'm strengthening a technique. Same way as if you wanted to learn a phone number, you wouldn't learn it as each individual number, you'd break that down into chunks. That's the same sort of method that I like to use to actually break down techniques in order to learn them, develop them, and also teach them. I've put quite a lot of effort into this concept, so let me know down in the comments below if you'd like to learn a little bit more about how I use it to learn, develop, and teach new techniques. Onto my favorite part of my kick drills, and that is technique strengthening. Now, the whole focus on this is using movement patterns and combining movement patterns with the movement patterns you utilize within a technique. If you load a movement, you can truly start to know the movement. And that's one of my main focuses whenever it comes to building the strength and power I can actually apply to a technique outside of utilizing that technique in back drill. This can come in a number of ways, but the most simple way is to make it as specific as possible. A front kick is direct, a roundhouse kick is rotational. The most important components are knowing the technical structure, working out the opposing mechanics, and then loading the movement to know the movement. I found this to be such a great, straightforward blueprint to actually developing the strength and power within the techniques and truly getting to understand how a technique really works. So once again, if you want a little bit more information on this, let me know in the comments down below. I can put another video up that goes really into depth on this concept. Now, solo training can only go so far. Make sure you are still training with partners. Make sure you are still getting to training sessions. At the end of the day, you can't fight yourself, otherwise you go insane. So make sure that you are getting into training. Make sure you are training with partners and really start to test out these things that you're developing in your solo training with a partner and test those things out to work out how far you're actually developing. Again, I hope you've been able to take something from this information today, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. I feel like I'll forget more than I'm ever able to actually write down. So please let me know if you have any questions. And once again, stay blessed. Peace out. Take care.